Imagine a ship drifting in perfect weather. Below deck, the engines are humming, the computers are running, and the coffee is still warm. But the 27 crew members are entirely gone. A boarding team searches the cabins and finds a seemingly blank logbook, only to reveal a desperate cryptic message when the pages are placed under a UV lamp. While this specific scenario is a cinematic invention, fully abandoned vessels drifting on the open ocean are a documented historical reality. In October 1955, the merchant vessel MV Joyita was found adrift in the South Pacific. All 25 passengers and crew had vanished without a trace. The vessel was practically unsinkable, yet it was completely empty. On the deck, investigators found a doctor's bag. Inside were a stethoscope, a scalpel, and 4 lengths of blood-stained bandages. Cases like the Joyita generated decades of speculation involving Soviet submarines, Japanese pirates, and insurance fraud. It is exactly this kind of wild conjecture that modern investigators try to avoid by relying on forensic science. Today, commercial ships are equipped with constant GPS tracking and satellite communication. A modern vessel simply disappearing should be a logistical impossibility, yet 2 recent cases defy that logic: the High Aim 6 and the Kaz 2. Both vessels were discovered completely devoid of human life, drifting aimlessly through the remote, deceptive waters off the coast of Australia. When the ocean leaves us with empty decks, can modern digital data and forensic chemistry actually piece together the fate of a missing crew? In April 2007, Australian maritime authorities intercepted the Kaz 2. From the air, they noticed the catamaran sail was badly shredded. Boarding the vessel, police found a scene frozen in time. The engine was running, a laptop computer was powered on, and food was set out on the table. The ship's radio and GPS were fully functional, and the emergency life jackets were still properly stowed. 4 years earlier, the High Aim 6 was found in a similar state. A routine customs patrol spotted the 24-meter fishing trawler drifting near Western Australia's Rowley Shoals. Officers boarded to find toothbrushes and clothing left untouched in the cabins. Down in the hold, tons of mackerel and tuna were beginning to rot because the refrigeration system's batteries had completely drained. In both cases, the initial physical evidence matched ghost ship narratives perfectly. The crews had evaporated, leaving the physical layout of the ships to offer only contradictions. Investigators turned to digital data to reconstruct the missing timelines. On the Kaz 2, police recovered the ship's GPS history and a digital video camera. The footage, recorded just before the men disappeared, showed the 3 crew members completely relaxed. This critical digital footprint allowed the coroner to confidently rule out foul play and deduce a tragic series of accidental falls overboard. The digital trail left by the High Aim 6, however, pointed toward a much darker sequence of events. The ship's captain and engineer were Taiwanese, overseeing 10 Indonesian crew members. After the vessel was abandoned and left drifting, the mobile phones belonging to the captain and engineer pinged in Bali and the Philippines. These calls strongly suggested the crew murdered their superiors, hijacked their phones, and fled back to their home countries. This telecommunication data directly contradicted the pristine, struggle-free crime scene found on the boat itself. Digital evidence acts as an invisible witness. It can neatly resolve a mystery by proving an accident, as with the Kaz 2, or it can completely upend an investigation by revealing human actions that the physical scene conceals. That physical concealment brings us back to the cinematic trope of the hidden logbook message. Chemical forensics provides the real-world methodology for uncovering texts written in invisible organic inks. A desperate captain could use common biological fluids like onion juice, milk, or even urine to write a message. These substances physically alter the fibers of the paper while drying completely clear to the naked eye. This table from an applied science journal tracks the visibility of these fluids when exposed to a direct heat source. Over a 20-day period, heating the paper causes the altered fibers to burn faster than the surrounding page, consistently revealing the thick brown markings for milk, onion juice, and urine. This second chart shows the results using ultraviolet light. Because of their natural fluorescence, onion juice and urine become highly visible under both long and short UV waves, without needing to damage the paper with heat. If a captive crew member or captain needed to leave a covert record of a mutiny behind, these accessible organic materials would work perfectly. Standardized heating and UV protocols transform these cinematic myths into actionable forensic tools, capable of recovering intelligence hidden in plain sight. Technical data offers investigators a massive advantage. In the case of the CAS-2, GPS logs and digital video successfully closed the file on a perplexing tragedy, but the High-AIM-6 demonstrates the limits of that data. Despite the recovery of intact logs, extensive aerial searches, and damning cell phone records tracing the suspects to Indonesia, the exact fate of the captain and engineer remains unsolved. The vessel itself met a rather mundane end. Local authorities initially planned to sink the trawler to create an artificial reef for tourists, but they scrapped the idea out of fear that its fiberglass shell would detach and float to the surface. Instead, in October 2004, the ship was dragged ashore and systematically dismantled by an excavator, permanently destroying any physical secrets it still held. Forensic science can tell us exactly where a ship drifted, what was left in its cargo hold, and which cell towers a crew connected to, but it cannot always explain the human element of why. The ocean is vast. Even surrounded by the best tracking technology in history, some crews will step off the deck and simply never return. What is your theory on the High-AIM-6? Was it a coordinated mutiny, an interception at sea, or something we still don't understand? Let us know in the comments. And for more deep dives into the mysteries our world has to offer, be sure to subscribe to Docu Nebula.